Before we jump into our Wartales episode 3, I wanted to take a look at this roadmap update that Wartales just posted yesterday. Community Update 6 will be released towards the end of July this month. This free update will add tier 5 armors and weapons crafted using vermeil, a new red fabric. We're also improving how information is displayed during your runs. A new notification log will now group related messages together, making alerts easier to follow and reducing on-screen clutter. On the roleplay side, we're adding more variety to character progression and storytelling. We get 20 new traits, 40 new confessions. Some of these are unique confessions written specifically for unique characters you may recruit. Finally, we've made a number of game optimizations to improve overall performance. And they just announced a new DLC called Claim Your Own Fief, where you'll supposedly build and manage your territory from the ground up, construct districts, produce resources, and much more. Here is the roadmap, and it would appear that somewhere between after September and before 2025 we get a new region and storyline as well. So overall, things are looking amazingly for Shiro Games and Wartales. And with that out of the way, while I briefly orient myself with my companions of the White Company here, I think I'll just familiarize myself with the characters and where we left off, and I'll return briefly. We can actually upgrade Melalia over to the regular Outlaws tabard, so we'll do that. Lawrence can get Melalia's Angler's Regs for a bit more armor as well. And the plan is still to give Martyr the better ringleader's tabard here for willpower 15. Right, for this episode, I think I want to definitely complete this contract and then perhaps start on our first scenario progress up here. We also have this question mark, which I already know what is, but I definitely want to visit in this episode. Without further ado, let's go hunt volunteers. And onwards we go. If you hadn't noticed already, I have tried to put more energy into my videos, and I might still sound a bit weird. I'm not sick anymore, but the after effects of being sick for a couple of days are lingering in my voice. I think these guys just up ahead are the ones we need to help, and it definitely appears like that. We have 3 enemies. I didn't like how it says help. Oh, bandits have been attacking caravans and the travelers along the roads. This must end now, or merchants will refuse to travel through Tiltren. Alright, so we just have to stab these guys. Let's get to that. Alright, they don't have a leader trait, so this should be significantly easier. This poacher is going up first, so let's just move up our characters here. We'll have Melalia and John Hawkwood on the right and left, or the left of the battlefield. Quick holding Alt reveals all the different interactables on the map. We could theoretically use this spear with Melalia. We'll keep that in mind. Actually, we'll move Martyr up here, like so, because he can move and shoot, perhaps. I think this pretty much suffices as our starting way of deployment. I think I'll start off with probably Melalia hitting this poacher from this side so he can't be flanked. And if this main guy wants to hit Melalia, he'll probably have to be here, which means Ronald can come in for a nice spin to win. So, Melalia hits here. He punches back for 1 damage. We'll wait with Ronald, and we'll move up towards the spear, throw it down here like so, and shoot like so. That pretty much wraps up Martyr's turn, and we'll engage in combat with John Hawkwood. Blammo. I don't think we'll want to... Okay, we might want to weakening blow him. There's no real downside here, since it's a temporary valor point. He hits for 2 damage with it, which is nothing. Can you go here and spin to win? That is a mighty fine question that I doubt. We can always try it. I don't think there's any downside to it. No, he can only reach one of them. Okay, we'll hit this Marauder and position ourselves up here. We'll want to make sure this guy can't reach our archer. Okay, he has a lot of movement. That's not gonna happen. But we'll just take a pot shot at this poacher and run back a bit, like so. That should hopefully... Yep. That's the most damage we'll probably take this fight. Actually, no, since this guy's attacking first. That's not good. We can get galvanized if we kill. And I think the easiest way to kill is by hitting these guys with Ronald. Like so. Then we perhaps want to bank on the fact that we roll high. Which we don't, which sucks. Okay. And that is a personal skill. So we don't have protection. Okay, so Ronald is in trouble. Want to make sure this guy doesn't get much more hits off. This poacher's the next one. Martyr has the other bandage, so we'll move him up a bit, like so, in preparation for our next round, so we can at least heal Ronald's poisoning. We are now galvanized. This guy will punch for another 1 damage or so, 2. Don't spend it all in one place. We'll move up in the center, shoot this main guy, because he's the biggest threat, and simply take a stab at this poacher here. Alright, we have 2 turns to kill Lottery, which should be more than possible, since if we, let's say, shoot here, we get 1 temporary valor point, and we will not let them flee. We will move carefully around this poisoning cloud. Use a first aid on Ronald to remove poison. It's not fully necessary, but we do it anyway. And we should be able to kill this poacher. And like that we get the sharpshooter trait on Martyr for another range. That's nice. Especially on ranged characters. Okay, we get a cloth and a damaged dagger, which we already have 1 of, and some gold. We'll really want to spend a potion on Ronald, and we'll consider what we want to repair with our materials here, and I think we definitely want that. What do we want for specializations? I think we'll have Ronald become a cutthroat for Frenzy, which does 6 to 7 damage twice in the back. Like so, and we'll also increase willpower up to a base of 14. We already know that drill. I would definitely need to pick up some snow irises soon so we can fix our lack of potions now.
Please, I didn't attack you to hurt you. Believe me. We only wanted to scare you.
And they claim they wanted to scare us. I don't think they mean that. Since we don't have a border pass, we can't get a bow. We can give them 200 money for that same bow, or we can simply execute them for 5 cloth. I doubt that Lawrence can use that bow at only level 2, but he is getting at level 3 soon. But that bow is gonna basically cost us this entire contract and bleeding into the other contract. That's a good question. Is it worth it to get an upgrade straight away for 200 gold? I think usually I just kill them, but I think for this time I'll give them the money.
You offer us passage.
And then give me the bow. Alright, we get the bow. Let's see where it is. There it is. Indeed, it increases dexterity by 3, and it comes with vicious shot, which knocks targets back by 2 meters, which could be used to disengage people as well, which would come in handy. So dex goes from 9 up to 12, and we overall do more damage. I think that's a decent upgrade for 200 gold. Alright, we can quickly discover this location, this house up here. Also get these flowers. Woodland Farm. Get the hemp outside. Oh, this is the area where we can recruit our Axeman for free.
Go away! Go away!
Alright, we have to fix him with the... and we don't have that currently, do we? Oh dear, oh dear.
A plague I've nothing to offer in return.
I think we are pretty much forced to leave him behind, at least for now, because we don't have any meat to make sure that he doesn't become famished and go mad. But we will definitely keep this woodland farm in mind and return to this. Though before we leave, there's a chest up here. Inside there's 2 wood, a seasoning, and 14 gold. I don't believe there's anything else here. Oh, there is. Oh, there's a knowledge point we can steal. And since our suspicion is at 0, we will definitely do that. Oh, that's heavy on the old suspicion meter. Ew. Come on, Ronald, I believe in you. This is definitely a risk. You'll be wanted by the guard. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that's a high roll. Okay, that might bite us in the ass. But Ronald becomes an apprentice, and when we get caught, or if we get caught, we have to pay a hefty fine to keep this stuff anyway. I mean, theoretically we could steal this food, but that'll cause even more guards to appear. Alright, let's loot this back area first before we head back and up this mountain pass. Because I know in this mountain or this frosty area, we'll definitely find some snow irises, which we need to craft the potions of health and stuff again. Oh, it would appear there's a little smoky smoke thing here. Indeed, there's something here. Click it. Thank you. Some beer and some raspberries of sorts. Alright. I think that pretty much wraps up that corner. But yeah, there's this plague-ridden husband here now. I think we'll wrap up here, go down to this question mark, and wrap around and go up. We'll also perhaps want to visit the plateau stables on the way and buy ourselves another pony. Right, there's a pair of guards, and we probably stand no chance at this point, so we'll run. We are faster than them? Question mark? Yeah, we are. Okay. And there are another guards occupied with some pigs, and they actually won. That's weird. And now these pigs want our blood. This is definitely a oh, there's also this tower here for the blacksmith. Okay, if I go up here, I should be safe to rest without any... Ooh, there's also something to inspect. I get distracted a lot, if that wasn't obvious. Alright. You technically already have experience into woodcutter, so we'll leave him there, even though it's not optimal in any way, shape, or form. So we'll just put him on the campfire. Is there anything we can cook? No. Let's go to the tavern briefly. I don't think there's anything for us left to do, or for us to do. Favorite food, fish tartar, stuffed mushrooms. Can we get that? Can we change this stuff? Wait, how do I... How do I remove things from my... Oh, that like that. Oh, I don't even have the recipes. All right, that's that simple. All right. All right, let's take a look at if there's anything we want to craft, and I think we'll definitely want the rope. And also the... Ooh, I could also get a hitching post now and a tent. I mean, it would increase our maximum valor points, but I'm not reaching valor max yet. And that will require all my salt. I think I'll craft the chest first, like so. Is there anything else we can craft? The hitching post gives us another 10 carrying cap. I think since we're buying a upcoming pony, this wouldn't be bad, because we'll benefit from this bonus more, at least in the short term. We'll also reveal a new recipe in the compendium, so overall I think we'll craft that. Let's take a look in our thing here. Let's read the book that we stole for 1 knowledge point. We've also assigned alpha to the hitching post, so our carrying cap has gone up. We'll place the camp chest down. Let's place it, say, here. Do we have our thief, Ronald? Yep, we'll put him on it, and then inside the chest, we'll... Oh, right, since it's the book we stole, we can't launder it. Right, never mind. We definitely want endurance training here for 2 valor or for 2 knowledge points. That brings us down to 1, but we move 5% faster now. In the compendium, which should be the where we unlocked something from that hitching post, we can now learn to. Oh, we could also learn to craft a better cooking pot to spend less food and more recipe goodness, but that'll take a lot of resources. I mean, we do have the resources in terms of iron and wood, but then we'll be completely broke. That means we have to visit both the woodcutting places and the mines on our way back as well at some point. But I think lessening our food consumption down to 14 is worth it. And we'll immediately craft that upgrade. Cooking pot starred now. We also have to spend 100 gold on it. Like so. And now our cooking pot is just that much better. Lawrence should be approaching, yes. Tinkerer Journeyman, I think it's called. Which is the next step up. Now I think that concludes the rest. There's also some paths updated down here. Pressing W, it will appear it's just an encyclopedist, and we're just very close to the next one. And Reaper collecting resources, I think, is the way we achieve that. In terms of rest, I think we'll go for a couple of pieces of bread and just a nice little cherry on top. There is a fairly high chance that we get ambushed, but here's hoping. Fingers crossed, and it worked nicely. We make a lot of money from the Starlight Inn. And we get 15 prestige, and everyone are happy as well. We get 2 raw materials back, 10 influence, and we get some more experience for the next thing since our happiness is 15. Alright. Oh, Ronald has something he wants to talk about. Let's talk to him. These boars don't know the sharp end of a sword from the blunt one. How can I trust them if I barely make it out alive each time? Well, he did take a big old beating last fight, so let's see, we can admonish for 2 valor points, but he'll be hated. We can make him more expensive, which we definitely do not like. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. All of these are bad. After arrest, the valor points earned by a troop are reduced by 2. That's definitely out of the question. I think Ronald... Yeah, Ronald, you're gonna be hated for a little while. So Ronald has taken a slight hatred or a slight disagreement with John Hawkwood. We can now see that in, where is it, relationships down here. And they now tolerate each other for a nice -1. And we circle around these guards. There's also a hunt up here. But let's just avoid them entirely. There's some wood inside this forest here. We'll also want to pick up as many resources as we can get our hands on. We see the Tiltren jail. If we talk to the person behind the desk, we can buy a couple of chains. And if we capture any outlaw in the region, we can reduce our suspicion by a little bit. We'll just purchase 3, since we don't really have the money to spare more than that anyway. You can also buy cheap labor force, as in free, but the prisoners often have terrible traits, or at least one bad, really bad trait, like drunkard, or they are more expensive, or they reduce, or they increase, rather, the risk of the troop getting ambushed when resting. I don't think we'll visit the plateaus, and we don't really have the money to buy a pony outright, but we'll definitely keep that in mind. For now though, let's move up to Stromcap and turn these bounties in. This gang is technically in the same direction, at least somewhat, as this other gang, but they have a difficulty rating of average. Though I do think that we're slowly approaching the area where we can accept those harder contracts. Let's accept the both of them. Okay, that other one is all the way down there. Let's see, are there any good ones here? There's a angler with the raft. He's a swordsman woman. A barrel lid and stuff. This guy is a pugilist, a thief. He has more carrying cap, and he does more damage if he's next to someone. Not bad. This guy is a scholar and has taunt. And they're all in the base ranks of their skills. No one has the improved skills yet. I do think we are kinda on the low end of money, and we still have to pay wages on the next long rest. So we'll leave them be for now. With that being said, we need to go in here, talk to Helene, perhaps buy a couple of these, say 3 of them, at least for emergencies, since we can't really craft any yet, as we don't have the snow irises necessary. We also want to take a look at our food situation. Do we have the salt still? No, we don't have the salt, right. Let's buy 15 units of salt for 30 gold. And all of this wheat as well for 18 gold. That's nothing. Alright. Is there anything we can craft? Not really, only terrible stuff. That'll be a waste of materials, and I know we can get more knowledge, but for these resources that are hard to come by, at least in the beginning of the game, and only at 10 armor, I don't really think it's worth it. Alright, let's take a brief detour up to this cave and complete the first scenario, then circle back and hit up this gang. Actually, should we do it the other way around? For the money first and then hit it? In case it takes 8 hours and then I think I'll do that. Unless this is... It's probably somewhere... Ooh, okay, we will go for this gang though first. Change of plans. Keep out... Oh, there's a animal group there. We want to keep off the main roads-ish. At least if we see a guard, we want to get into the forest so we're harder to spot and thereby chase. The gang in question is definitely up this way. That actually brings us to another scenario fight, which we will probably undertake instead as well. So now we're moving in the forest. There are a couple of mushrooms here. We already need to rest soon, but we can get this fight out of the way as well. And if we can get a nice ambush on these folk, I doubt it though. Yeah, we'll not be able to get an ambush, and we'll also have to fight them in the thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. Alright, they have 5 people. And they have the leader's aggression as well, that sucks. The leader's there. Tab, there's a spear. Bear trap, spear. Okay, the idea of them having 2 of them over here is not that bad. Because we can engage on our terms over here on the right side. You don't have the movement right now. Can we have you with higher movement? We can. Alright, can somebody reach him? Millily can reach the poacher. To at least avoid the poacher taking proper damage or proper hit. We'll engage him, like so. Since we have full valor points and we need to rest afterwards, we might as well destabilize him. And he has no armor now. He'll punch for 1 damage. Ideally, we'd want to deal with this deserter. But we can't reach, which sucks. And Ronald is also slightly out of reach as well, which double sucks. We'll move Hawkwood up here and attack him regularly, and then weakening blow him, like so. So we can avoid taking a big hefty crit. It is only a crit for 3, which is nothing. Since this Marauder is moving next, and we want to make sure that Lawrence isn't caught up by these guys, we'll move Lawrence a bit away, I think like so. That was dumb. I just moved on purpose, or not on purpose, but over the bear trap and took damage. That was dumb. Let's see, we want to hit this deserter because he's the leader. We hit him for 8, that's good. And the Marauder moves up. Right, can we move up with you? Hit this hoodlum. Like so. This deserter is gonna suck. Oh, that's gonna hit. Okay, 12. He didn't crit, luckily. That's good. This scoundrel can't reach, so he's no threat. So we'll move. I think if I move him here, he might be able to reach. Yeah, I think I move him here. And he might be able to... Okay, he can't reach. We can, however, throw a knife for just that bit more damage. Like so. So that in preparation next turn we can move Ronald in here in the center and do a nice spin to win. The scoundrel moves up, he's no threat. Just have to make sure these guys don't move first. Okay, this hoodlum is moving. So if we move with Ronald around, say, here? Oh, unfortunately, not all of them can be hit, but I'll focus on these two guys instead, since they are the most important. I think I'll want to throw another knife, bringing us down to 1, and hope that this kills. It does, lovely. Meaning I could use... Actually, I'm not hitting him from behind. So I'll just stay here, I think. Alright, this poacher is moving next, but he's no threat since he's engaged, so we'll focus on this deserter here. If we move around, like you, I think, like so. Oh, that's bad. He has the DV's whirlwind. We definitely have to kill him quickly. Hit him. Weakening blow him. That was a bit unoptimal, but I think we'll just have to deal with it, unfortunately. Because he's now going to take a swing and hit both of them and poison them, which sucks. Alright, can they reach... Okay, they can definitely reach Hawkwood. If I move you over here, like so. Hit him from behind. Like so. That's gonna hurt. Yep. But luckily the weakening blow lessens the damage we would have taken. He might go for my archer, which is not ideal, but we'll move up and shoot the deserter in the back. We might reload actually to try and kill. So the crit isn't applied and we move closer to getting galvanized. That's gonna hurt. Youch. Okay, instinctive, that's good. Because that is a 25% chance, or 25 chance of taking... We'll try that once more. Chance of taking a critical hit reduced by 25%, so we'll take much less critical hits in the future. Can this scoundrel reach anyone? Okay, so this guy is basically out of the fight entirely. We'll just stab this poacher. I don't think there's any reason to use destabilizing, just even for more damage, but he doesn't have any guard anyway. They line up nicely for a spin to win with Ronald. Alright, this scoundrel is moving first. I mean, we pretty much have to move in a way that makes us go through this poison. And since we're already poisoned a lot, it will suck slightly. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to avoid that. Alright, we'll hit this scoundrel. We'll also weakening blow him, because he's a pugilistic and they do a lot of damage. And he's up next, as we know. We need to move a bit more forwards and hit. Lively, which I think is strength and dex increased by 5 when a one-handed is wielded. And it will always be, so we just get more dex and strength basically. I could frenzy him, I think, which should kill him, so we can avoid damage. Yep, good. Good, good, good. We could also throw our last knife and lose out on free permacrit, but is there any reason to? No, I don't think so. Let's move him, I think, down here. That was a bit dumb. He went through the poison, but oh well. Alright, this poacher's next. Can we hit him or actually kill him? We can. Good. Stab. We won't let him flee. This guy has to... Or this guy is gonna shoot. Good. We'll move a bit away. Are we out of the harm's range? We aren't. What about now? We are still not. But this should... Oh, he can still hit, theoretically. But he is probably gonna move down here, I think. Yep. Ouch. Ooh, that is bad. 14 crit. Jesus. We'll take a shot, and since we have a free valor point, we'll just load and just kill him. With that, it wraps up, and I think, yep, we have to spend one of these. We'll repair all of the armor, take that, and we'll get another ringleader's tabard, which we can put on Lawrence, I think, and also on Martyr since he's now leveled up. Alright, let's continue, pause, then level up Martyr. Since he isn't really killing people, at least not yet, I think we'll put him on Valorous support, so when he's next to people, he will generate temp valor points. As for aptitude points, I think Constitution is just terrible. That's gonna be boosted to 15. I think we'll boost movement. Movement is always nice to have, and he still can't equip because he's not specialized yet. That was my mistake. Alright, Lawrence though, he can equip, because all of these guys are light armored. I like taking Barrage here, because if you've played XCOM, we can set up a cone of view that if any enemy passes into it, they'll take a hit from Lawrence, and they'll also be stopped dead in their tracks. So there's basically no reason not to take this, at least for now. Well, since willpower is already boosted by 2, that's quite simple. And since he now has a specialization, we can equip him with one of these, like so. Excuse me. Can you? Hello? Thank you. Alright, he looks more dapper, whatever. Yep. We're starting to... Also, Ronald can actually equip this. So he has 15 willpower as well as more, alongside more armor and other stats as well. He has 14 crit, starting to look a bit decent. And he has a lot of traits. He also picked up instinctive last fight as well. Let's rest. There's still the scholar thing. And there's nothing we can launder. Can we upgrade our bench? We can't, since we're broke on the materials we need. We need more iron and wood. We can't craft anything else. Is there anything we want in here I want to save up for? We probably might want to look into restoration since our armor is getting better and better. And that way we don't have to spend as many raw materials since they only replenish 10 right now. This would give them up to 15 worth. I think I'll save for that. Costs 2 points. As for our cook, we can cook a bit of bread. Let's say 7 of them. Oh, 5 of them. Like so. And let's take a rest. Have a little bit of bread, and sure, you did slightly fine, so I guess you can have 2 beers and hope we don't get the drunkard. There's a 10% chance we get ambushed. Let's cross our fingers. We don't. Luck good. Customers swear they've caught fleas in your tavern. We lose 10 prestige, but we gain 7, so it's a net loss of 3. We gain a bunch of gold or profits. And yeah, they're getting closer and closer to leveling up. We probably want to take a look into the tavern proper soon-ish, because I think it's been 3 shifts and there should be new people as well. We get some stuff, and Lilia wants to have a talk. Jiro knows I don't want to leave anyone behind, but being wanted by the guard, this is serious. There aren't random bandits looking for payback. They're the best fighters in the region. Surrender? Absolutely not. Melalia will gain tough status, movement speed in the world increased by 10% for a temporary decrease in fatigue. That's definitely not bad. And more bad relations. Yep, we'll plan the group's getaway. And we are now quicker on the world map since we have Melalia on in our group. Slowly stacking movement bonuses. As you can see, we also lost around 20% fatigue. Right, let's pick up these few flowers and let's head inside. Well, let's take a peek inside this lakeside camp. Inside here, it would appear there's a few bandits. Maybe.
Our boss is open to recruiting anyone, including refugees.
Are you the boss?
How I managed to get
No.
all this?
Oh, there's sort of a
That's the secret.
laundering type thing, huh? Because I can buy stolen goods for stuff and things. Who are
One
you?
of our new recruits hasn't returned from his first assignment. He probably just got delayed. He seemed capable.
If we inform her that one of her friends are to be hung from the gallows, I think this will progress the Tiltren story scenario, so we'll do that.
Caught red-handed on his... He cannot hang by my fault.
And they'll leave. Where's the hemp? Is there any hemp on this map? Let's see. Oh, there's a barrel. Yoink, yoink, yoink. This isn't a woodcutting stump. Alright, I can't seem to spot any... Oh! I thought it lit up for a bit there. Okay, never mind. We'll exit, and they'll push towards this sheepfold, or this wealthy farm here. There's a couple of jailers, we want to avoid them. We'll want to get into this scuffle here.
Release the refugee in...
But you...
It's between the village chief Oddy
He's just a desperate
and this
farmer.
Isabeth person.
To say you won't be back in a few days to plunder our supplies. No, we won't let any of you leave.
So they're contemplating, or not contemplating, but they definitely want to kill these guys. And these guys just want peace. And I don't like the look of this crusader-looking dude.
Very well. Have it you.
How about you, peasant?
Mercenaries, whatever those thieves promised you.
Okay, we can take either side, it would appear. And, well, as much as I really don't want to fight that stuff, because, well, a lieutenant is a good archer, these guys are heavily armored, this guy is a pikeman dude, and this guy is another different sort of archer as well. And Oddy himself is also an archer, I think. And if we, quote-unquote, attack, we'll actually get a lot of allies. What if we attack these guys? We'll get 6 of them. But the loot will probably be much worse. Oh, the case of quantity versus quality. The rewards themselves also differentiate between a bar of soap and adjustable straps. The influences are the same, the progress is the same. Let me just quickly do a Google of the adjustable straps versus the bar of soap real quick. So a quick Google search reveals that this bar of soap gives 10% 10% reduction in suspicion, and the straps get 1 movement on our characters. But if we kill these guys, the poacher or the launderer by the camp will not be there, as well, they'd be dead. So as much as my instincts are telling me to avoid this fight, I guess I'll do it. Let's initiate combat and cross our fingers this isn't the loss of any of our guys here. This will be the last encounter or fight in this episode, since this is a long one. I might pause the recording here and there to make it shorter, but we'll see. Some characters are important. If they die, the battle will end. Important allied characters must be protected and important enemies captured. We'll keep that in mind. Alright, so these guys have 60% increased movement since they have their village dude. Where is he? That dude? And I really don't like the look of this guy. He's pretty tanky, and he has some nice armor, but on the other hand, we could perhaps be able to steal that from him. We do outnumber them 8 to 6, and we're closer to getting galvanized, which is around 1 or 2 units, I think. If we hold Alt, there are raw materials to repair armor. Applies the effect poisonous oil for the duration of the fight. Every time a skill deals damage, has a 50% chance to apply poison. That's good. Raw materials. Oops. Paralyzing oil. Every time it slow down, movement reduced by half. That's good as well. Okay, so since the enemies are pretty much bunched up here, these 5 guys, and only there's one of them over here, I'll think I leave this hoodlum to it. We also have the crit boost, since Isabeth is giving us all crit. So all of our characters, including our own people, have quite high crit range. This lieutenant is first, but actually he's not a coup de grace. Applies bleeding if the armor sustained damage. Ooh, bleeding, huh? And he can move, well, since his movement thing. Okay, we'll want to move Ronald over here somewhere. We can also move the allied units a bit. This is where lightning strikes, and I don't think I can bait this guy into standing here, unfortunately. Yeah, probably not. Alright. I think this is a decent deployment. Perhaps like that. He can, in theory, reach in there. So, I think we'll go up here, apply this poisoning oil on John Hawkwood, like so. So when we use a skill, we now poison this guy. First of all, you know the deal. Heavy strike. Ooh, that's nice. 13 points of damage. And let's weakening blow him as well. For another 9. And we also remove his guard. I think we might have went through. Oh, he disengages. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Ouch. Okay, applies bleeding on Ronald and that guy. Okay, we could in theory focus that lieutenant quite easily. Let's see, you're a standard dude. So are you. You are a crossbow dude. And you are... Youch. Critical hit, 8 to 21. And attacks a second time if they crit. Let's see... None of them are AoEs. But we can move this guy, our Millelia here. Over here, I think. And hit. Unfortunately, don't crit. But he should kill. Good. Galvanize? No. Alright. He moves towards John Hogwood. Good. Does no damage. Punches us with his shield. Ideally, this foot soldier would walk towards him as well. And I think to quote-unquote guarantee that, we'll have to move a bit forwards. Push him back. Should we apply barrage? I think we will, like so. Like so. Can you reach if you... Okay, you pretty much have to move just a bit. Let's do it like this, so that if he moves, he will still take damage. With Lawrence setting up his barrage, we can end his turn. And this guy will just go over and stab him, like so. And as for you, I think I'll wait with Ronald and make sure that there is a gap between him and where Martyr is gonna stand, like so. And just shoot this foot soldier for 5 damage. Any damage is good damage. Youch. Youch. Times 2. Perhaps hit your friend. Nice. Good, good, good. Alright, Ronald, can you? You can. Lovely. Go up here. Hit them both in the back. Let's see who... You're close to having that... your guard removed. So instead I'll use Cutthroat or Frenzy's ability on this guy instead to remove his guard. And I'm not gonna throw a knife, but I'll just move slightly out of the way, so in case this Odie guy moves up, he might get hit by this barrage. He's gonna stab. Odie can just stand still and shoot. Youch. And off he goes. Yeah, they tend to do that. Ally reinforcements are coming. Okay, we got more friends. A new round is starting. Now we have a lot of friends. We're 12 versus 5. We're galvanized. And we have, like, what? 6 turns before this foot soldier moves. 2 of them ours. 4 of them theirs. Or our friends. I think if we pull another... Oof, that crit as well does a lot of damage. Let's move Ronald away a bit. Like, actually, can we? No. We could engage this vigilante with... No, he'll just stand still. He should hit the foot soldier. Good. This guy will move up a bit and stab, probably. Yep. 20 damage. This guy is an archer, so he'll do his thing. Should hit. Yep. Usually the allies always only hit enemies. So, at least with ranged, of course. Unfortunately, Millelia can't reach this vigilante, which is a little bit sad. But it's not completely the end of the world. Let's move through the poison, because that's the only way to reach this vigilante. Hit him in his face. Perhaps also weakening blow him as well, just to remove all sense of victory from their side. This fight wasn't actually that bad because we had a lot of friends with us. We get resilient on John Hawkwood. We're really picking up a lot of traits. Usually it takes a bit longer for us to pick up traits, at least in my experience. That enemy goes down. We can move our ranged folk up a bit. Odie is still long out of range. Can I hit him if I aim? I can. Blammo, 35 damage. And no more guard. These guys should take care of that pikeman, and with the archers and ourselves, we should kill Odie here quite easily enough, hopefully. Martyr doesn't have aim, so we'll just move him down a bit. He should hit either of these guys, so we don't take damage. Good. And he moves even further away. That's great. Sometimes I hate this fight, especially Odie himself or any movement captains, because they take a shot and then they just disappear into the sunset. And then unless you can catch up to them, it's basically an endless loop of running to get them. Allied reinforcements are coming, so we get, if it wasn't enough in our favor, 13 versus 2. I don't think I pretty much have to move. Can I? Thank you. I might not even be able to hit him with a range or aim. Okay, I am. Please kill. Oh, come on. 1 HP? Really? Alright, the archers should take care of him. We'll just skip our turn with Melelia by pressing her and just hitting space. And just skip turn. We're basically having the poachers wrap up this fight and our allies in general kill them. Odie goes down. We won't have them flee, because we won't get their loots, and we want their loots. We don't want to take a turn with Ronald, otherwise he's gonna take 4 turns of bleeding damage. So we'll skip our turn with Martyr, and we should kill here. Lovely. With that, the fight wraps up, and we only get the warbow from the village chief, Odie, which has the critical hit bow. All in all, not so bad, but I was hoping for at least 1 suit of heavy armor for John Hawkwood, but you can't complain. Right, let's click Melelia and level her up as well. Since willpower is at 14, we could spend the aptitude points on crit or strength or movement. Thinking about it a bit, I mean, movement would be good, critical hit would also be good. Let's just get Valorous Duel, so that every time she engages, we get a temp or a point. As for her stuff, I mean, Con would be for more health. What would happen if I put it in here? Okay, so we get 2 more minimum and 2 more maximum damage on Slice, 1 more on Destabilize, and 2 more on Wrath. I think I will put it in Strength, actually. Might not be optimal, but that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. They go into the farm. We can talk to them, since they're now in purple.
Thank you for your help. Recruiting refugees seemed like a good idea at the time, but being desperate does not make them good thieves. Without your help, my mistake could have cost this poor soul dearly. Please accept this on behalf of our people. It's not much, but I hope you mercenaries will not be too disappointed.
Oh,
And
don't
now,
worry about
to
it.
take these good people to the haven.
And the haven comes up now. Before that, though, let's go into our inventory. Equip this new fancy bow on Lawrence from 5 decks up to 10 decks, like so. Blammo. And we also change the volley, which shoots them back, for the chance of double hit on crit, which is nice, since he has already a 17% chance to hit. And for Ronald, he's our thief, so we'll put the reduce of suspicion on theft on him, obviously, like so. So we'll inquire more or less. What? I'm fully blanking. Less suspicion on theft. That was not supposed to take that long.
Thank you for your help.
Right, they have no words.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
And she just thanks us.
Thank you, mercenaries. I promise I will.
And that's just the same as well. Alright, the hemp is back. Let's pick that up. And with that, I think we have found ourselves in a position where we'll cut off this episode here. I've been recording for an hour, and I think this episode has encompassed quite a lot. We've learned some new things, completed a couple of contracts, one out here, one over here somewhere, progressed the fate of Tiltren a bit. Also, we have discovered the abandoned tower and the jail. We've accepted this tough gang out here. We've stolen a book of knowledge. Speaking of knowledge, we've gotten endurance training and upgraded our cookpot. And we've saved up one more knowledge point. I think we're in a pretty good position for day 10 soon. So, with that being said, I thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.